Good evening, everybody. This is the special meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners for the town of Woodbridge, and it is Thursday, June 19th. It's 5:23, and I'd like to call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to our new administrative assistant, Tiffany Tweedy. First order of business is approval of prior minutes from prior special meetings. Let me start with the special meeting of May the 21st. I have a motion to...
Moving.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to ask for a motion to approve minutes of the special meeting on May the 29th.
Okay. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Great. Second unanimous vote. Thank you very much. Moving right along, I don't see anybody here for public comment. Did
No.
we receive any correspondence?
No.
No?
We're
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Review of reports. This can be a bit of an abbreviated meeting, and so Chief, if I could ask you to update us as we get to the end of the fiscal year here on the financial report.
Right, so as you mentioned, we're in the final month of the current fiscal year, coming down to the final weeks actually, and as of the June 13th, we were just over at 83.3% overall. So barring any unanticipated exigent circumstances, we're on target and we expect to finish out remaining within budget, so that's good. And currently, we're wrapping up any pending purchases, processing the related billing, and readying ourselves for Tiffany and Jasmine preparing the purchase orders for the next fiscal year, which will be
Great.
very shortly. But other than that, budget is all on status
We're good.
quo and everything's good.
You're not anticipating any surplus, Frank?
It's going to be close. I think we're gonna actually be right there, but
Right there?
maybe a little bit.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you.
So we're not going to review the incident report today, but I do want to point out to my fellow commissioners and to anybody who is watching is that incident reports are monthly posted on the town website under the police department. And you can review those there as well as being able to review the arrest blotter. So for folks who are really interested in understanding all the ins and outs of the hard work that goes on by the police force on a day-to-day basis, that's a good source of information. Take a motion to approve the financial report.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Great. And now our latest acquisition, Woodbridge Animal Control. I don't know whether Chief or Deputy are going to give us a quick update on how that transition is going.
Yeah, we're making good progress with that, but I'll let the Deputy Chief provide you with an update as to the details of what transpired since our last meeting.
So we have asked our animal control officers to provide us with statistics for how, to monitor their activity. And in the last month, in May 2025, there was 153 calls for service, which was up 19% from last year. 71 complaints were in Woodbridge, 23 Bethany, 9 Beacon Falls, and 50 in Seymour. Our ACOs gave out 3 infractions, 1 written warning, 2 verbal warnings. So they're doing quite a bit of work down there. They impounded 31 animals during the month, adopted 17. We also had an impromptu meeting that we scheduled between the animal control officers and the volunteers to clear a lot of the air, talk about expectations, volunteers' expectations, what all of our goals were. We talked about a mission statement, fundraising, volunteer responsibilities, application process for new volunteers. So I thought it went very well. Went so well that the volunteers branched off, and last Wednesday they had a meeting to speak about how we can bring money into the town for our fundraising efforts, because there's quite a few things that we need to do at the shelter. The shelter appears to be in disrepair in certain sections that, you know, could be unsafe for the animals and for the personnel there. So we're working on those things as we speak.
And anytime there's sort of new management, comes sort of some cultural changes. What's your sense in terms of how people are sort of settling in, getting along with each other, adapting to sort of new policies and procedures?
Much better.
Great.
I mean, I see that the, you know, it's more professional than it was. They're doing quite a few reports. They're averaging 3 or 4 reports per day. Their communications with dispatch has been pretty good. Overall, it's been a pretty big transformation. I think it's for the better. And I think with time, I've met with all 3 volunteers, and you know, our hope is to interview others who might want to be interested in participating at the shelter, you know, to bring on more volunteers. So I think we're pretty happy with the way things are so far.
Great.
It's been a few months, but it's a work in progress, but things are getting better every day.
Just a question, Ron, on procedure, because I know I don't know this. When an animal control officer responds to a complaint, a matter to investigate, do they go out on their own? Do they go out paired with an officer? Do they go out with a police officer? How does that work?
You know, well, depending on what the call is, if it's you know, something as simple as a barking dog or a roaming dog, they'll go out on them by themselves. If it comes in as it's an aggressive dog, you might need 2 people. If there's any time where there's an arrest involved, an arrest being an infraction given out, you know, they've been told that they need to have a police officer with them. We have gotten them a computer recently, so now they can check the address, and dispatch can check the address to see if in fact the house that they're going to, if we've had any problems. So for safety reasons, that's you know, that's been paramount for them. So yeah, it's on a case-by-case basis.
Sounds
We're trying to leave 1 person at the shelter, so someone's always there, because we only have 2 shelters, taking two animal control officers taking care of 4 towns. So that's, you know, it's difficult to kind of balance that, because sometimes we need to do that.
That sounds very well, Ron. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Commissioner.
Welcome, Deb.
Thank you.
And also, I just want to thank you so much for your forwarding the statistics from the animal control. I know Chris had made a request to see some of that information. We appreciate your sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Do we need to accept the report on animal control? So
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Last public story is personnel matters, and turn it over to you, Chief.
Okay, so we just had 3 items to discuss under personnel. So the first one is retirement of one of our dispatchers. So on June 2nd, I received official notice from our most senior dispatcher, Craig Arpino, of his intention to retire effective June 30th. Craig has been with us for the past 25 years, and I've worked with him since he started. I've watched him grow both personally and professionally. He's a talented dispatcher who's very proficient in multitasking, and he's really fantastic at performing under stressful situations and during critical incidents. So he'll be truly missed by all of us. But on behalf of the department, I congratulate him on achieving this milestone and wish him well in his future endeavors. So I just want to advise the board of Craig's retirement.
And for those, there were several retirements, as we know. The chief is retiring, Janice is retiring, and I would refer you all to the town website where at last week's Board of Selectmen meeting, certificates were presented by our first selectman. There's a lovely picture of Mika with the chief and Janice and Craig. So, thank you all.
Thank you.
As long as we're there, just a reminder about next Friday's luncheon, right? 11:30?
Open house, 11:30 to 1:30.
Great. So Chief, how are we gonna replace Craig and where are
Yeah,
we
so
on that
that's kind of where
status?
we're at now. Then the next topic is I seek the board's approval. We have to leave us with one vacancy now with Craig's departure, so I look for the board's approval to move forward with that. And kind of what we were thinking was, well, two schools of thought. I mean, to expedite it would be great if we could get a certified dispatcher that is willing and able to come. We didn't have a lot of luck with that last time. We had several candidates, but when it all came, there's a lot of different departments that are also looking for have the same openings, and there's not a lot of certified dispatchers that are moving around. Kind of the same scenario as with the police officers. So my thought is, and what we're kind of thinking was, if possibly advertise that like we did last time, but for a short period of time, so not to prolong filling the position for maybe a couple weeks at the most, I would suggest, and see if we get any candidates that are maybe qualified. But we also, Janice, for us, reached out to the other finalists that we had in the last round to see if she was still interested and or available, and she was still very interested and very much available. So that's the other option.
She's not certified, though, is she?
She's not certified, no, so she'd have to be in training. And we currently have, Shanice Smith, who we hired, she's currently in training. It's progressing well, but it'll still be probably a couple of months before she's on her own anyway. She'll get through all her certifications, but having the experience and on the job experience would be a little bit yet until she's comfortable to be comfortable. So that's my recommendation. First we need your approval to hire, and if you agree, maybe we'll go that route. In the next couple of weeks, we'll have a decision of which way we're going to go. But I really do recommend that we expedite filling the position one way or another, because it takes, if it's not a certified person, it's going to take a little bit of time, and we don't want to be down, that much.
I'm afraid to make a motion to give them permission to hire.
Yep.
I'll second it.
So we'll get that out
All in
tomorrow.
favor?
Thank you.
So, for future reference, what would be the procedure, Chief, given that Craig offered notice on June 2nd, when we're in sort of a crunch situation like this one? Is there some way that we can help support the hiring by authorizing this sooner than a next meeting? Is there some way to do that?
I guess we could have a special meeting, or we could get the process in the works earlier, but I hate just to put the job application out there without the town's approval.
Does he have the same retirement issue?
Yes,
So he has the same issue?
yeah, the same thing with the pension change, the big driver for him as well, yeah.
So he had-
That's why we're all at this June 30th, the July 1st deadline, yes.
But I guess, not to belabor, but as Robert said, this was known. I mean, it was not an unknown that we were coming to this conclusion. So I guess that maybe we could have been better prepared for it, that people were gonna take the retirement, or maybe they just, maybe just like everybody else, things climb up on them. You know?
Well, we thank you, Janice, for being the trailblazer in understanding how important this issue is for people and waking up some of the other
We thank you for
folks.
educating everybody.
Thank you.
All right, well, it sounds like we're full speed ahead on
Yeah.
authorizing a search, for sure.
And then just a quick update on our extended absences. So we still remain with the 2 officers out on work-related injuries, as I reported previously. The work status on the 1 officer who's been out since November of 2023 remains uncertain still, and is pending insurance compensation and town review of his medical and some functional capacity evaluations that have been going on. And our other officer was involved in an on-duty accident in February, continues with his recuperation. He actually had a physician's follow-up yesterday, and we were notified that pursuant to that, he'll continue to be out of work through July 30th, when he returns for another evaluation. So his return to work date at this point is uncertain, but he'll be out through July 30th for the time being. And that's all I have for personnel.
Dennis, do we need to do any approval on personnel or not?
No, we're good, it was
Just a
just
report
about
out.
the hiring. Thank you, yeah,
Okey-doke.
yep.
So we've finished the public part of the agenda. I'd like to now ask that we go into executive session so that we can discuss personnel matters related to the chief of police retirement and the personnel transition plan.
A
To
motion,
that end,
and who can
indeed.
stay, yeah.
Motion?
Second, all in favor?